And a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I wanted to be sure to do this call. It's the Tonic Man. And for all of you new folks on the line, well, even the old folks on the line, the ones that have been drinking JC for a long, long time, I just wanted to make sure we all realize, I mean, there are a lot of important days in the year, but I think the Mother's Day is probably got to be the most important. All of you who have a mother, or maybe had a mother, like I had a mother, some of you still have a mother, know so well how valuable a person, how loving a person, how they put up with stuff that you have no idea how they ever put up with it. It goes on and on and on. Whoever developed the idea to have a Mother's Day should get a hero medal, because I think that whole institution of mothers and mothering is just the greatest. Of course, I had a mother as well, and I tell you, the day that I got the phone call that she died, it was like a stave through my heart. I thought I had a heart attack. I mean, I was so distraught. I just, it was unbelievable. I mean, holy cow. And so I'm sure some of you have gone through that, and many more that are not on the call tonight. I just wanted to make sure that we all do appreciate how great the whole idea of a mother is. And there we are. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and happy Mother's Day to all the people who are not mothers, and even the ones that are fathers, because it's all a great family, isn't it? And we do have some folks on the line that I'm going to ask to say a couple of words in that respect, and also, of course, in respect of the JC Tonic and how miraculous it is, and how really it's something that everybody should be using. And if you have friends and neighbors and family that are not using it, then shame on you, because it's up to you to get them to start drinking it. I try every day. I talk to people every day, strangers, even some people that I've known for years who still think I'm a fool and still laugh at me. But I try, because they're getting sicker and sicker. And in my particular case, at my age, most of the ones that I knew started dying a long time ago. By the age of 50, they were starting to pop off, and more and more and more as they get older. So there are not many left that I went to school with or grew up with, and they could have lasted a lot longer if they didn't laugh at me so much. But, you know, as I went through school, I was drinking this stuff, and they laughed then. And of course, in your teens and 20s, you'd say to yourself, why on earth would I need the JC Tonic? What am I trying to stay young for? I am young. I'm healthy. I'm well. I'm not sick. I don't get sick. I have, maybe I get a cold once in a while or whatever it is. Well, you know, in my case, I never got colds after I started drinking it. And I started drinking it when I was 11 years old. And we all have our story. Mine, I still tell people all the time, because a lot of people suffer from acne. And that's what I started to develop. It was a full-blown case of pimples on the face, on the back, on the chest. And I remember so well, even today, I mean, like it was like, it's like a vision. I said to my dad, what'll I do? What'll I do? And he said, drink the preparation. And because I wouldn't drink it when I was younger, when he told my mom, he said, Helena, you make sure the boys drink the preparation, as we're growing up. But we didn't want to. We didn't like the taste. And so, but by 11, I started getting these pimples. And make a long story short, after a year of struggling with them, I asked my dad again, Dad, what'll I do? He said, drink that preparation I told you last year. So I started, and of course, you all know the story, or maybe the new folks don't, but 3 months, they were gone. 6 months, my skin had repaired itself like it never had all the craters that I was digging in it. So I learned, I guess it made me some brains too, because I figured if it could do that, it's going to keep me well. And sure enough, it has kept me well over the years. And now at 83 and 5 months, yeah, I'm starting to count the months now. Well, you never know. So I feel like $1,000,000. And I still don't take any systemic medications, and I don't get headaches. I sleep like a log. I eat fantastically well. Mind you, I eat good food. Not that I don't have some junk food once in a while. When you have a body that's humming along and in good repair, it can easily consume some crummy food or junk food or too much butter or too much fat or too much ice cream periodically. It's not like you shouldn't do it every day, but if you do it, even on a weekly basis, if you have a body that's on the JC, it'll clean out the crud that starts to collect there before it can collect and do damage. So that's why we have people who are losing weight, and then they stay off the weight, even if their diet is not the greatest. And I remember one fellow, we should have him back. He was on the call a few years ago. He called me one time out of the blue and said, can I lose weight? I said, sure. I said, what's up? He said, I have a 100-pound belly. I said, holy cow, you're going to need an awful lot of this stuff. He said, I don't care. He said, I've had it. I'm ready. So he bought himself a whole bunch of bottles and he started on it. And within 3 weeks, I think, he was calling me just screaming. He said, I ate a salad. I said, well, why? What did you used to eat? He said, I haven't had a salad for 15 years or so. He said, I'm the junk food king eater of the world. Well, sure. If you do it 5 times a day, all day for 40 years, you're darn right you're going to have a 100-pound belly and you're going to be in poor health. But if you do it periodically, not to worry, okay? So, sure, you don't need it. Don't do it. But if you do it because you feel like you want to do that, well, fine. Have a hot dog, have a hamburger, have a whatever it is periodically and enjoy it. Lenny, I'm sorry I had a little technical difficulty.
While you were bringing out, and it's true that, all of us eat junk food once in a while. But when you're on JC Tonic, I can tell you from experience that you crave healthier food. It's weird, but it's true. I mean, I used to eat fast food every day when I used to work. When you went on lunch break, you went to Wendy's, Taco Bell, and you just did it on a daily basis, and it made you sick. But I know when I started on JC Tonic, I started craving healthier food as the more I drank and the longer I drank JC Tonic, the more I was like, I went to McDonald's, I remember, and I'm like, this don't taste good anymore. So it's true. It's very true.
You do. Your taste buds change, actually. And I know there's a lot of folks on the call tonight, and of course everybody drinking the JC knows darn well that that's exactly what happens. And if you do have not the best diet or a poor diet, it tends to change all on its own. And that's what this fellow that I'm not sure if everybody heard it, but did you hear I was talking about the fellow with the 100 pounds?
Yes.
I mean, he was such a tremendous example, and his taste buds changed. He started eating less junk food and more real food just because his body was demanding better food. So what I was explaining at the beginning of the call, everyone, is that this really needs your help badly. Sure, there are new people joining every day. Sure, but we need to get warp speed in this new membership drive. There are too many people suffering who should not be suffering. They are on all kinds of medications. And I mean, every single day I talk to more new people who tell me the horror stories. So, of course, it's fresh in my mind. And maybe you should make a few more phone calls to all the people that you know who are not well and listen to their horror stories and then insist that they start drinking the JC because, look, it's simple. They need your help. They need it badly. And so we need you to get it into warp speed, to crank it up. This call that I do is great, but if you're not passing it around and sending it out to folks, then it's almost useless. the idea is so that maybe there's something that I say or Lenny or somebody else that gets on the line and talk about things that you say, oh, golly, that would be great for Mary or for John to hear. If you're not doing that, then this whole call is a waste of everybody's time. The idea is that you get excited enough to pick a couple of new people every week and say, Mary has to hear this. John has to hear this. And that's the same with our email. We sent out the email newsletter every week, and we send this call along, so it's easy to forward if you haven't gotten anybody on the call. But you really should all have one or two people listening to the call, and then you call them after and chat about it, and that's when they make the decision to start drinking it, and you book an order with them, because it's fresh in their mind and they're excited and they heard the stories of the people that come in and tell their wonderful success stories, and maybe something that I may have said that will get them excited enough to think, hey, maybe that'll work for me. After all, even Lenny, who you just heard speaking, he only started drinking when someone said to him, what if it works? Because he was dead set against drinking it or trying anything else, since he tried everything in the world for years. So he had it up to his eyeballs. But when the person said, what if it works? See, and that's what you could use for everybody, because Lenny was hardcore not going to drink the JC Tonic, didn't want to know, hardcore. He had it. He had all the medications, all the supplements, all the herbs. Nothing worked. So he was finished. And she said those magic words, what if it worked? So if you say that to a person, look, probably 50% will also be magical words. When they say, no, diva, baba, whatever they say, you say, yeah, but Mary, what if it works? That's enough to get them to think, what if it works? Maybe I'll try one more thing one more time. So it's a question of just being a little bit more maybe pushy, if I can say that, insistent. I do that with people, and I do it as much as I can before they slam the receiver in my ear. But that's what happened to Lenny. He closed the receiver twice in a row to the lady. But she persisted. First of all, she persisted after the first time. Then when he closed the phone the second time, she called back a third time. What's that old thing about never two without three? Maybe that's true. So if someone says no to you once, don't take it as no. Take it as a maybe. Take it as a yes. And go at it again, maybe in a different fashion. Maybe say something different. I had a long talk with one of our ambassadors who was telling me that he strikes out more often than not. I said, tell me what you say. I'm the prospect. Explain to me. What do you say? And he goes into this. I said, stop. He said, what? I said, there is nobody that's going to listen to you or me for 3 minutes without you getting to the heart of matters. You can't talk about yourself. You can't talk about your gout or whatever else you suffered from when they don't have gout. You have to talk about their issue. So the very first instant is find out what bothers them, what their ill health is. Now, friends and family and close people, you probably know already because they've spoken about it so many times. But for new people that you should be helping, find out what ails them. And then you know where to direct them. So after that, do you have our SoundCloud on your mobile phone? No? Why? Do you know how? No? Why don't you ask? We can give you a tutorial of how to install the SoundCloud on your phone, if that's what you need. We just assume that people with mobile phones learn something new every day. Even I still am learning something new every day. And believe me, folks, I did not know what SoundCloud was when our company put SoundCloud up. Okay, I didn't know what it was. I had to read the tutorial so I could know what to do. But the SoundCloud is an application on your phone. You click and you've got it on your phone. You can go to our inventory of archives of stories. It's all in alphabetical order. Neuropathy, high sugar, high blood, kidney, mental. Remember that fantastic call of Jimmy Branton when he said he had full-blown Alzheimer's? That's there. All the calls are put there, and what we do is we cut out all the stuff. People are not going to listen to me talking for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You want them to hear the story. Well, that's what it is. It's a snippet. We just cut out the story itself, and you click on it, and you hear the story. So the person is saying, yeah, I had high sugar levels, and I had high blood pressure, and whatever their story is. So you'll be able to get that person to listen to a minute or two, and when you see they're starting to listen more, they'll listen to the whole thing. But you want them to hear the story about their health issue, not about yours. And the stuff about Dr. Mowry and about Bruce Fife and about all the wonderful things that my father did and tonic herbs and all that, don't talk about it at that time. They will not listen. No one has the time anymore. No one gives anybody the time. Everyone's impatient. Everybody has a to-do list. It's like on a roll of toilet paper. It never ends. I mean, you think about them and the time. If they want to hear more and they say, holy cow, let me just get rid of this, whatever they're doing. I want to hear more. That's fine. Now you go into, and again, don't go off in a tangent for a half an hour. Give them a little bit. If they want more, give them more. Show them where to go. Show them on your phone. If you have the website on your phone, if you have all these applications on your phone where you can go and just punch a couple of buttons right there in front of them. Lenny the other day played on his call a call with a lady that was a great testimonial. It lasted, 3 minutes. Well, I remember that because he had that lady do that previously on his iPhone. He just put it in front of her with the video on, and he said, tell me the story. Well, I remember that because word for word is what she said, but he's got it as a video. So he can pull it up and say, look at this lady, how old she is, and listen to what she says, and just show the person the video for a minute or two. So you can do those things. And we have some of those videos. We have the fellow Bob from Southern Texas. Remember that one? He was in a wheelchair with his head slumped over and his eyes were glassy and he was drooling at the mouth. And then he's got the after picture 3 months later, imagine, on only 1 ounce of JC a day. And he's in he's gotten rid of 22 medications he was on. I mean, those pictures are really worth not 1,000 words. They're worth 1,000,000 words. If you don't have that on your phone and you want to learn how to do it, you can ask your upline, who should tell you, your sponsor, but if they don't know, which they may not, we're putting together tutorials for all these things. How to do this, how to do that. And we'll send them to you anytime you want. But those things are all important in this day and age. You know, a lot of you know about these Zoom calls, and you know about other ways of mass communication. Well, this is instant communication that will serve you well to help a person. And remember, again, I'm using Lenny all the time, but Lenny said, tell, don't sell. Tell, don't sell. So you tell about, and you make sure that it's honed into their problem. So you're telling them what to do, how they can ameliorate their situation. And believe me, you'll get more than 2 out of 10 that will want to order. And when they say, I'll take a couple of bottles, you darn well better have some in the trunk of your car. If you don't, holy cow. Talk about, what do they call that in baseball? Strikeout. What a strikeout. So when you're talking to somebody, make sure you have at least 1 bottle. They may say they want 4, but if you can give them 1 right away, that's no problem. You can order and get 3 before they drink the first one. That's fine. So make sure you have some with you. Don't say to them, oh, great, well, here, I'll take your order, and I have to order some, and I'll call you in 2 weeks. Because when you call back a new person, they might say, Mary who? Who's calling? They're not going to remember. So it's always important to be able to follow up and get them to taste it on right away as you deliver the bottle. If you don't have any, or the person is on the phone and they're away, out of town, they're in a different city, sure, you're going to place the order through the company and have it shipped directly. That's going to be the fastest way to get it to them. But then make sure you're on the phone with them when they receive it. Now, every ambassador gets a copy of every invoice and every communication that goes to the 6 people below. So you're going to know what any of the 6 people below do. Now, if the 6th person below, you don't even know who it is, that does not mean that you, 6 levels above, should not phone them. That actually means that you should phone them. And you say, hey, Mary, this is John. I'm your 6th level above. I saw you just started drinking. That's fantastic. How can I help you? I can guarantee you that that person is going to freeze. They're going to just collapse. They won't believe. They just won't believe that someone took the time to call them and ask after them to see how they can help them. I guarantee you they're going to fall over because people don't normally do that. When you do anything with any company, does anybody ever call you back and ask you, so you okay? Any problems? No, you're gone. You're a number. Finished. That's it. They're on to the next. No one cares. And more you can see in these large companies. No one cares. And then they job out their call center to, I don't know what country, Timbuktu, Pakistan, Philippines, who knows? And those people don't know because they have a book. They were told, here's the book, and here's what you follow, and here's what you say. But if you ask them a question that's not on that page, they can't answer you. So what did you do? You just blew your brains out on the phone for a half an hour with somebody that can't even answer your questions because the companies don't care. So you care. And as a matter of fact, you can invoke the slogan that we use all the time. We share because we care. So care about all the people below and watch and see what happens. Now, if you think I'm just repeating all this once again for the 9 millionth time, well, I am. But this time, it's for a reason that's going to make your wallet fatter. Ha ha, you like that? So anybody who wants to be an ambassador, or any ambassador who is already an ambassador, we are working on a plan. Remember, here's how it goes. If an ambassador gets a new customer who buys 1 bottle, the ambassador receives $8 commission on that bottle. If they buy 4 bottles, the ambassador receives 4 times 8, $32. Okay? So your interest is to have a lot of consumers buying a lot of bottles, giving you a lot of $8. So once they get drinking, and once they start saying this is great and I have some friends and all that, they may very well end up to be a candidate to become an ambassador. And when you want to do that and talk to them about that, talk to your sponsor or talk to the company or talk to me, and we will decide how best to do that so that you have the greatest chance of success that they are successful. Because you don't want to have a whole lot of ambassadors who are doing nothing, who are not successful in the business, who will just be complaining, and you'll start thinking something's not good. The comp plan's not good, the product's not good, I'm not good, something you're going to, because we all tend to want to blame somebody for something. But the only blame is for us to make sure that we qualify the person. So here is how you qualify a person who wants to be an ambassador. You have only one single thing to tell them. And you say, that is great, Mary. I'm glad that you're excited about this. So, John, how do I start? Well, Mary, you make a list of, you can tell them 50 people, 20 people, 25 people, but I would say, 25 to 50 people. Make a list of 25 to 50 people, and next to the list on each one, mark down what their health issue is. And call me back when it's ready. Now, you're going to talk about that a little bit more, maybe, with them before you ring off and let them go and do their job. But the idea there is if they are serious, they will do it. If they're not serious, they won't do it. So you don't want to enroll a person who's not serious. You want to enroll a person who you know is serious. So if they come back even only with 10 people, that's like manna from heaven. Fantastic. If they got 10 people, that's going to be great. If they got 20 or 30, that is like super great. So you help them with those 10 people. You might do a three-way. You might tell them what to do. You get on the phone with them, and you make the presentation for them. But what you're going to do is you're going to tell them exactly what I've been telling you to do. Get the apps on the phone, find out if they're able to use their phone and do all these things. If not, teach them how, show them how, tell them why, and so that they have some tools ready and they're able to make a decent presentation. You're there as the backup. So if you're on the call, you try to let them do a bit of the presentation, but you jump in the second that they seem to be spinning their wheels and turn the conversation around. So that's how you make sure you get a good ambassador. So now you've got a new ambassador, and that person is going to get the $8 on the bottle. And you're not going to get the $8 on the bottle anymore because you're going to get a unilevel bonus on your new ambassador. But that $8 you helped him get because you trained him, and now he's getting the $8. And so he or she will be getting the $8 and making new distributors. Now, those of the people below you, unlike this person who became an ambassador, will not be ambassadors. They'll remain as retail customers, and that's good. I mean, it doesn't matter if a person doesn't want to be an ambassador. If they want to consume and they're happy with that and share a few bottles and bring a few new people in, but they're not interested in the business, that's fine. Don't insist. Just keep them as good, solid retail customers, and you'll continue making your $8 a bottle. But what we are working on now is that on the people that you make into an ambassador, who is now getting the $8, we want you to get something on that sale as well. So the idea is we're not going to be able to give you and 5 people or 4 people or 3 people above you, your sponsor, their sponsor, their sponsor. Everybody can't get $8, but maybe you can get $1 or 2 or 3. Do we pay 3 people above? Because they're all going to be the ones that are hands-on. If you're working with the person below you, that first person, you probably have at least 1 or 2 people above you working with you. So they deserve something as well. If they're on the calls with you, and if they're training you, and if they're sending you stuff, and they're helping you on 3-ways and so on, then they deserve a little something as well. So that is what we've been working on now for about a year, trying to figure out how that can be done without increasing the price of the product. And the way that is done is by volume. And volume is the key in not only this business, any business. The more volume, the more you're able to do. So we need everybody to start thinking very clearly about exactly all of this. You have to start by making your own personal list, putting all those people's names down and their health issues next to it, and then seeing which ones you want to talk to about them becoming an ambassador. Because a lot of them may have already said things to you like, geez, this is great, I got a whole pile of people, and you may not have picked up on it. But now is the time to call them back and say, Mary, you told me a few months ago or last week or whenever it was that you have a few people, so why don't you let me help you with that? Because they did not know how to approach it. That's the reason they don't have a lot of people. Or that's the reason they didn't call you and say, hey, how do I become an ambassador? I want to get these people on board. So you are the person to pick up the phone and call them and say, you mentioned it, and I think the way you're talking, you'd make a great ambassador. Well, I don't know anything about it, John. Mary, you may not, but you will after I do a little training with you. Here's what we're going to do. Now, I have done one-on-one trainings on the phone with a whole group of people, and those calls are available that you can listen to. But you can do a call on the phone with a person and train them and tell them exactly what to do. And we record our calls that I make so that I can send the call over to the person afterwards. And we are happy to figure out how you can record if you can't already, but if you record it or have them record the call, they can re-listen to it and make notes, and half of your job is done. So that has to happen. And the first thing is with you if you're an ambassador. And with you if you're not an ambassador who is listening to this and thinking, yeah, I could do that. Because you know what? You could. There is nothing that prevents anyone from doing this. Some people say, well, I don't know what to say. Doesn't matter. We've got all the tools now. I just told you. Don't say anything. Let them listen to a call that has to do with their health issue. That's all you have to tell them. Don't get into trying to tell them what a herb does, which this one, that tonic herb and all that. Heck, I don't even do that unless, as I said previously, they ask for more info. But even then, I usually say, look, the best thing, go to the website, read up and everything, and then let's have a conversation. You make yourself some questions, and I'll answer them. That's even better than trying to go and relate everything in the website to the person. They won't get it all anyway. There's just too much. Let them read, let them make up a list of questions, and then get on the call. And you see, if you're not boned up on all this, then you can go and do the same thing and make sure that you've got the answers when you do get back on the phone with them. So those are some very simple things that all of us can do. I do them. I know some of you do that, but what I want to do now is make sure that you're finding those gems in all the people you know, in all the people that are consumers, who are customers, who want to share with other people. The best way is to do what I just suggested. And when you get this person on board like that, they are going to be super excited. So at that point, if you want, you can get me on a three-way. The best thing is to get your personal sponsor on a three-way. The best thing of all is to have somebody above call out of the blue and say, hey, this is John. I'm up on your 4th level up above, and hooray for you. You joined. Great. What a great organization. And what can I tell you that'll make your day? You know, you don't have to have a big, long conversation. Just let them know that you care. That's all you need. In this world today, all you need to do is let people know you care. And every time you talk with somebody in another company, if you're calling the phone company or your bank or what, they tend to get a little uppity, impatient, and so on. Man, I put on the best smile. I say something that's a little, a bit of a joke. I get them to smile. And if you get them to smile, it makes their day. I tell you. Because they've been screamed at half of the day. So they're starting to get thin-skinned. And all they need is a kind word. Hey, you've been really helpful. Thanks a lot. And don't just have a great day. Have a fantastic day. I mean, little things like that. So you do that with everybody and watch and see the difference. And before you know it, you're going to be screaming at your upline, help, help, I need help. I can't handle everything. You think I'm kidding? No, not kidding at all. If you do that every single day for the next month, there is nobody that does that will not have a booming business within 3 months. Guaranteed. Okay? So now I want to get back a little bit to the Mummy's Day. And I know there's a really special mummy on the call. And she is just really, really a tremendous lady. And I think, I'm not sure, but maybe she's a grandmummy too. So, do we want to hear from her? Let me see. Well, look at this. Okay. Not only is she a mummy, but I'll let her tell you everything. Miss Ruthie Neal, are you there? Ruthie,
yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. I am here with 2 guests from Mississippi.
You just tell everybody that you're a mummy and a happy mummy and a grandmummy and whatever else.
Yes, I am. I mean, I had a wonderful Mother's Day. And like I said, I have my brother-in-law, Boz. He and his wife on the tonic here with me for Mother's Day for a few days. And hey, I'm a grandmother. I'm a diva. I'm on the tonic. I have a lot of energy. I'm good looking. Hello, everybody.
Oh, that's it.
Get on it. Get on it.
Get on it is right. Get on it, everybody.
Yes. I told them, I said, look, I said, we're having a conference call tonight. And they said, okay, we're going to get on it. And my sister-in-law is working on her high blood pressure, and my brother-in-law has been on it for a while, and he's making sure they drink it.
Are they on it now?
Yes, they listen to you speak, and right now they're at my house.
Thank you very much for coming on, because again, as I said earlier, Mother's Day is the greatest day of the year, and so thanks a lot for telling us. You're a mother and a grandmother, and beautiful and energetic, and still going strong. That is so great.
Yes.
All right.
Not only that, the tonic, Anthony. That tonic, you know, I've been on that 20-some years, but that Helena, wow.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Can you say something? Because I was going to talk about that, but I'd rather that you talk about it.
Well, you know, hey, let them look at my picture. I sent you a picture to show you that I've been on it a little bit, and now I'm on it faithful. And I tell you, my little skin looked like a beautiful little baby. You know, I went to Texas, and I have a lot of people talking about, your picture. I'm going to go, what you doing, or what are you taking? I told them I was taking the tonic, and we went on the website, and I showed them the Helena, and wow, I'm telling you, I was turning heads, y'all.
and for the people on the call who do not know, Ruthie is 81, pushing soon to be 82.
82 next month, Anthony.
That's right.
82 next month.
Ruthie, thank you so very much for all that, and for being such a wonderful family member for so many years, and thanks for being on the call.
You are so welcome, and I tell you, I have that pure good energy, okay? I mean, all natural.
The real stuff. Great.
Yes.
All righty.
Y'all get on, catch up with me.
Oh, no one will catch up to you.
Okay.
All right, darling. See you. So, folks, you know, this is exactly what the tonic does from inside. And the Helena is really something special. And there is a really great pal of ours on the line, Betty, who has some really great stuff to say about the Helena. But I wanted to make sure you all saw your email, because we have sent along a copy of the new Helena brochure. It's a beauty, and this would be a great tool. It's easy to print out. But again, if you have it on your email or get it to your phone or your iPad when you're with somebody, you just pull it up and say, look at this. I mean, and everybody who orders for the first time still gets that 1 ounce sample, and every single person who tries a sample thinks it's great. So make sure that you tell them when they're about to order, say, by the way, if you order a bottle, your very first one, you're going to get a free sample of miraculous whole body skin rejuvenator. And we talk about skin rejuvenation, and Ruthie go and look at her pictures. I mean, holy cow, what an example.
Yes, and Anthony, another thing, too, to be almost 82 and wrinkle-free. I have no bags and wrinkles in my face, and I do give the tonic and the Helena the credit. You know?
Well, I guess you do, because look at you.
I know. I'm a bad girl.
You just make sure they keep looking at you when you walk down the street, Ruthie.
I don't want no more car wrecks.
That's right.
My kids want to tie me in the house. I said, I don't care. I said, long as they don't hit me, let them wreck. It's good to
let them hit the wall.
Yeah, it's good to be turning heads when you're 82.
Hey, everybody on the call, you don't know the story, but Ruthie was sashaying down the street a few months ago. Guy was looking at her so much he had an accident. I love this. What a story.
Yeah, and it's the truth. It's a true story.
I know. Keep telling it, Ruthie.
I know.
Okay, darling. We'll see you later.
All right, and thank you so much.
Thank you to you, too. Okay. Well, look, I wanted to tell you folks about the Helena. Make sure you look at the email, get the brochure, print it out, get it to your phone, use it. It's an incredible item, and as you know, everybody wants to stay young, so let's keep them young. And, you know, when you're talking about the JC Tonic to people and they're hesitant, hit them with a little bit of your sample package or your Helena bottle on their hand and let them rub it in. You'll get them that way. I mean, sometimes people need to feel it and get the sensation. They'll get it right away. They'll say, wow, that's great. And make sure to tell them it's great because it's got the JC Tonic in it. Did you know that? No. It's a great point to bring up for people. And so make sure you always give them the double whammy, the JC Tonic for the inside beauty and the Helena for the outside beauty. And you'll get them to take one or the other. But as I said, if they're hesitant, make sure you sample it on their hands and you'll get them. Okay? So look, those were a few things I wanted to talk about. I want everybody to think about it seriously, how best to build a business. As Ruthie said, she's never paid for this since she began. She doesn't pay for the Helena. Most people who are ambassadors do not pay for their own product for themselves because they generate enough business to cover those expenses. And that's what all of you should do. And only strive for that. You know, if you want to make $5,000 a month, you can do that, but drink free first. When you're drinking free, it means you have a certain number of customers and other ambassadors working with you, and that means that you've got a business. Then it's just a building block. You just add to it. And if you have somebody who's going to be an ambassador, you want them on your first level, you want to build a team. So you don't get more than maybe 3 people on the first level. Those 3 people you have a weekly conversation with by phone or by Zoom or whatever you do to communicate and make sure, hey, what's going on, Mary? What do you got to report, John? What good thing happened today? Oh, I got some animals. Oh, yeah, you got animals. That's true. This is good for animals, too. Why is that? Oh, wow, they got blood, too. You know, those are the kind of conversations to have with your team members. And they will be working as hard as they can to build their businesses, and you'll be helping them. But you'll have a team, so you'll do things together. You'll discuss things, and you'll get the latest, who did what, and so on. And that stuff starts to filter down to the next level and the next level. That's how network marketing works at its best. So do so, folks. Get rolling, get cracking, as they say. And it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned ambassador, make a list. You can take it from your email contacts. You can take it from your church contacts, your contacts of any sport you do, anybody you know at the gym if you work out, or where you go and play any game, tennis, whatever it is. You know people from all those places. You may not know them well. You may know them on the first name basis. Start getting their email and their text number and finding out what their health issue is. And it's not difficult because you don't even have to talk. Just listen. Everybody's talking about their poor health and their health issues and the drugs they're taking and the next doctor's appointment. Doesn't matter where you are. At the bingo game, everybody's talking. At the card game, at the Legion, doesn't matter. Anywhere where there's a group of people, they're all hurting. They're all taking a myriad of pharmaceutical drugs that don't work, and they're all unhappy. I think it was Ruthie that had a flyer 20 years ago. She put it out about, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? I mean, you've all heard that expression now, but 20 years ago, I don't know. Maybe Ruthie started that whole thing, but that's exactly it. Ask the people, aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? You know, there's some little catchy phrases like that that are easy to pique someone's interest, to get them to stop and think, okay, smarty, what could you tell me that would help me? Doesn't matter if they talk to you like that. Great, they talk to you. It matters not how a person answers you. What matters is, do they answer you? Remember when I told you about Lenny and the lady? She didn't care about how he answered her. She phoned back. Didn't care a second time. She phoned back. She got him the third time. Right? So you see, it can be done. Lenny is still there. I just wanted to see if you had a word to add. What I'd like everyone to start thinking about is getting this phone call rip-roaring, so what we can do is have a question and answer. Now, if we have 500 people on the call and 20, 30 people send in a message to us that they have a good question or they want to discuss something, that will make the call into really rip-roaring. So I wanted you to pass that word along to everybody, and we're passing it along here. Let's get that going, folks. You need to make an effort to get more people to the call, and tell them when they hear the call that the next call, we want them to come on and ask a really great question, the kind of question that everybody needs to know something about. And we'll have a team on the call to answer the questions, and I think it would be very, very useful for all of you who do want to build a business. And you can ask questions about business building, or about the product, or about a story, or about whatever technology, the SoundCloud, whatever it is, doesn't matter, a question which will be good for everybody to hear. Okay? So, Lenny, I appreciate you being on once again and helping out. I think that next week we'll have another great story. But, folks, I want you to know that the stories alone are not going to make the call, because people will not phone in just to listen to another story, particularly now that every story we've got is on SoundCloud or in our archive, and it's easy to go and get. It's on your phone. It's on the email we send out. So we need you to bring new people to the phone and make this call exciting and interesting. And I thought that maybe the Q&A idea could be a good way to get that started, okay? And in there, we will make those presentations about how to build the business. And for those who want to make more business and greater revenue, we'll give you tips and hints how to do it, okay? That's going to start next week and going forward. So please spend this week, making that list, calling the people, giving them this phone number. Just text them this phone number. You don't have to say anything. Just say, make sure next Sunday at 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, you're on a call. It'll be worth your while. Don't tell them what it's about. Don't tell them it's about JC Tonic. Don't even say JC Tonic. Just say, you got to be on this call. It'll be worth your while. Some will go. Some will stay for 2 minutes. Some will stay for the whole call. Okay? And if you let us know if you've got people lined up, we'll open the call for them and get them to say something, or invite them, or welcome them, or something personal. Okay? Lots that we can do with this call, folks. Let's get rolling. And on that note, Lenny, do you have a last word?
I just want to tell everybody, because I get a lot of questions about the tonic, and people say, oh, I already take multivitamins, or I already take nutritional products. And I have to remind them, this is not a nutritional vitamin supplement. This JC Tonic cleans the blood out and oxygenates it. It gets rid of toxins and poisons. And if they can understand that, that is a turnaround. And I've helped so many people get on the tonic when I help them to realize this is way more than a supplement.
I think that is really, really important and crucial for people to really remember and make sure they don't go down that wrong path. Because, folks, what Lenny's saying is that this is a one-of-a-kind product. There is absolutely nothing in the world that I've still, or many people have found, that does what this does. This is an overall, whole-body, total regeneration of the body through the purification, detoxification, and oxygenation of the blood. And as many of you know, and many of you do not know, the blood is the lifeline, and it goes everywhere, and it does everything. So that is a really, really great suggestion, Lenny, to keep harping and telling people. And so on that note, everybody, please come back next week. We want to get this question and answer call going. We need the help from all of you. Much appreciated that you're here. Make sure you go and hug your mother, and make sure you realize it's a great institution, motherhood. Happy Mother's Day, and don't forget, you take an ounce, you're going to feel the better. All right, bye now.
Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and/or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Jurak Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.